And welcome back to the Profile Pod. I'm your host, a double A, back for another spectacular episode of the pod. Thank you so much for being here wherever you're tuning in from. If you're on the audio, if you're on the video right here on StreamYard with us, thank you so much for being here, man. It's been a while since I've done a live. We're live here on YouTube, right here on the Profile Pod. And I used to go live a lot, like 2 years ago. And for various reasons, I went in a different direction, and I miss going live, man. So here we are once again. This is the podcast that brings on individuals doing extraordinary things in life to inspire the human spirit. And tonight we have a guest who's doing just that. She is a young woman from the Southern California area. She is a boxing enthusiast. She is a school psychologist, now getting her doctorate. She's in the middle of her dissertation, and I can barely say that. I don't know how she does it, but she's here to talk about all of it. She was training recently, but kind of in hiatus now to do other projects, and we're gonna get into all of it, man. So this is also an interactive show. If you have a question for myself or um, the guest, then leave it there in the comment section, and we'll get it on. We'll try to get the question on. We'll ask our guest. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome to the guest onto the podcast episode here tonight. Without further ado, please welcome Diana Aguirre, the Zen Queen boxer. Diana.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so shy. I'm
how
nervous.
This is your first podcast. It's okay.
Yeah,
I want welcome, and thank you so much for being here, for taking the time. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. I was a little bit nervous, but you know what I just said? Con todo menos con miedo. It's one of the boxers, Cesar. He always says that, and it was recently, so I'm like inspired to do it. So, but yeah, I'm having an absolutely amazing day. I spent the whole day with my dad, and I was telling him about that I'm gonna come out in the podcast, and I told my family. So, I'm
Oh,
excited.
yeah. Well, no, thank you. I we met at the Muscle for Reels. Shout out to Muscle for Reels. The video shoot. When was that? Gosh, June, I think now.
Yeesh, I don't even know. It was a long time ago. I'm waiting for the video to come out. I'm like, hello,
I know what's taking so long, Muscle. No,
huh?
I said, what's taking so long, Muscle? We
I
gotta.
know. I'm waiting. We're waiting.
Yeah. No, it was hot that day, and you did a little street interview, and here we are doing a full episode. And so this is your first podcast, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of looked at myself and I was like, ooh, I wiggled a lot. So I'm trying to be a little more centered and match my cyber name, the Zen Queen, where I'm relajada because, I don't want to be all over the place. That's not the best. I want to go linear, calm. And, there's a time and place for everything. As you already know, I'm the most exciting fan. I like to be, bubbly and excited, but, I'm able to shift into a calmer person because at work, I'm a school psychologist. So I am professional. I'm able to do that. But like me dijo Liz, my homegirl, the one on the picture that you posted, she's like, "Oh yeah, you're a multifaceted person," and it clicked. I'm like, "Yeah, I am multifaceted."
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No, you. That's why we have you on here, Diana.
Mm-hmm.
You're an inspirational figure. You do
Thank
so
you.
much with life. Yeah, no, of course, you do so much with your life, and you have a great story. You've been through adversity, and
Mm-hmm.
you've overcome a lot of obstacles. And you're a mom. And shout out to your son. His name. What's his name?
Luis Torres, El Bambi. He also boxes too, and we'll get into how I got into boxing. When we get into that part of our conversation. But yeah, I love my kid. He's my inspiration. He saved my life.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Well, shout out to El Bambi, Luis.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and you are also you're a big time boxing fan. back
Oh
boxing
my
enthusiast?
God. Yes. I go 150 or 250 miles per hour when I'm cheering. Oh my goodness. Ask the boxers. They could hear me. My voice travels. And like now I know, like I'd be like, because always people would tell me, oh, your voice travels. And I've noticed like my mom or somebody will call like a person and they don't turn. And then as soon as I call out for the person, they turn. So it's like a superpower. And now I get it. Now that I'm in self love and I'm discovering who I am, boxing has given me the tools to discover who I am because I get all the aggression, all the anger from life in the ring. And then I'm able to like see who Diana is and experiment with being myself. When I cheer, they could hear me. Like Blair said he could hear me. El Torito, a lot of boxers say that. So I always get invited to the fight. So I am so grateful for the boxing community. They're so supportive, so much love. I always get invited to the great places. Recently, I was at the fan experience
Hmm.
in Nevada,
Okay,
and
yeah.
I loved it.
I saw a lot of your highlights on you posted on Instagram.
You saw when I saw Blair. Oh my God, I had like a out of body experience.
Yeah, yeah, and let's get into it. Let's get into it and talk a little bit about Blair and how you became such a big fan of Blair. I know he's a boxer, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah. So tell us
he's
about
a
it.
welterweight fighter. He's amazing. So for me, I kind of guide myself with people's energy, their story. I don't care if you're like, if you win, lose, or draw. Like, I'm not going for like, I love Canelo, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like going with everybody. You know, I go for the underdog or, whatever. So I met him in person. I went to one of the fights and just his vibe, his energy. It is like he's a superstar, and it's not like oh, I have like a crush on him. Like he's amazing looking and everything, but it's beyond that. Like I don't cross that boundary. I have respect, and it's a superstar and fan dynamic. And that's what I want to keep it. And a lot of fans get lost in that. So I want to eventually. That's another project. I do want to write a book on fan etiquette,
Uh-huh.
but we'll talk about that. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna come back.
Yeah,
That's a
we'll have
whole
a part two.
different because I have so many projects, and then once I do them, we could come back and discuss the fan etiquette,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So I met him in person.
Hmm.
He's always been so respectful, never anything disgusting, nothing weird ever. He's a man of God. He's Christian, so we have like a lot in common. Our personalities are similar, so I feel like he's my the male version of me. And I want to be I am the most, he even names me, like he even shouted me out, the most exciting man in boxing and the most exciting fan, like he knows. So it's like, I became that through him. It was that connection, that split from being his fan. And then I needed to come up with a name, cause
Hmm.
I'm a fan too. So that's how that came about through him. I'm so inspired. After I met him, I really digged him. I started following him, and then he followed me back. I was like super starstruck and excited and beyond this world. And then
Hmm.
also, what happened? Something else. Oh my gosh, I don't see how I get lost. I'm like too happy to talk about Blair, but I read his story. Oh my God, everybody needs to go to his page, his link, and his story. My God.
Hmm.
Like when I feel sorry for myself, I remember his story. And I was going through a dark time. And after reading his story and how he started praying and manifesting, I
Hmm.
started applying that. And now I'm here. And like I'm the most exciting fan. And it was through him. It's like this big surreal thing. And every
That's
time I
amazing.
see him, I swear to God, it's like the first time I see him. Out of body experience, the excitement. I don't care if I look like a crazy person. I could care less. I lose focus of who's around me.
Right? Are you guys friends? Do you guys stay in touch? And it's like,
Um, it's very respectful. Like I don't cross the boundary. It's like I said, and it's why
hmm
I want to write a book because that's the way it should be. Like
hmm
he's a superstar. I'm a fan. I know my place, and I feel like he respects me and knows that I am his fan, and he won't cross the boundary. we've never like hung out. Like I see him when I go to the events and then he's there. Or sometimes I'd be like, oh, are you going to be there? And then sometimes I do know, sometimes I don't know. And then one time, oh my God. So I had met him in person and then we started following each other. And I hadn't seen him in no events, nothing, right?
Uh-huh.
I did never had a second. The second time I saw him, I'm right now I'm single, but I was with a person and I was out on a date with because I was with that person for like a while, and I went out with my son, my ex, his his son, so it was like a little family date.
Okay.
Tell me why I'm at Universal Walk and I see Blair and my son's like, "That's Blair." I'm like, "What?" And I screamed. I know my ex didn't like it. He got like, but you know what?
Oh
This
yeah.
is me. This is my personality. And whoever loves me is going to accept my personality. And also, they need to respect my dynamic with Blair. I love Blair. I'm not going to ever stop being his fan because I get in a relationship. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm going to be a fan when I see him. I'm going to jump and like hug him. And he just brings the best out of me.
Mm.
But that's what it is. Like, I saw him out of nowhere at that place, and then I go to fights, and I went to go see his fight, the not this one, the
Uh-huh.
other one, and then I that's how I see him. It's always never cross the line, like, oh,
Yeah,
let's go hang out,
I
you
feel
know.
you. I feel you. I mean, it's just like you would be like I would liken it to like how you're a fan of the Dodgers or the Lakers or you know what I mean. Any sports team. It's just except he's a boxer. He's one person.
Yeah,
You're
that's
you're a
how it is.
fan. You're a supporter. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's that simple. You know.
yeah, and he knows that I am his biggest and number. Like he knows that he's aware that I am his number one fan. There's anybody else
There's
is
nobody else.
second. No, I'm one. There's other fans, but they're like two.
No, that's cool. No, I appreciate it, Diana. And
Hmm.
but speaking of boxing, did you become a fan of boxing when your son started boxing, or were you a fan already? I mean, long time ago. Tell us about that a little bit.
Um, at this level, the fan level that I am now is because of my son. But I've always been a fan of. That's the only sport that I watched growing up. I know I watched Chavez. Oh, I'm gonna tell my age con los fighters.
Ah, hey,
um,
I remember the yeah. Go ahead,
okay, you
Chavez
know
and
we went to
De La
Macho
Hoya.
Camacho's son, right?
Say again.
Camacho's son, he fought
Whose son? I'm
Camacho.
so sorry.
Camacho,
Okay,
Macho
yes,
Camacho.
yeah, in Ontario,
Yeah,
where I
well,
saw you. Yeah.
yeah, it was such a pleasure and such a freaking blessing to be there because I grew up watching his dad too, Oscar de la
Oh
Hoya,
yeah, of
all
course.
those. I loved him. My tios, in Mexican families always had the fights, but I enjoyed it because, sometimes they have baseball, but I'm not interested in none of that. I've never been interested. And I'm a
Uh-huh.
Mayweather fan también. There's a lot of boxers that, like right now, I love Canelo, but I'm like a Bivol fan now. Like I became a Bivol fan too. So
Who's that?
Bivol,
Yvonne. I'm
Bivol, he fought with
be going.
Canelo recently. I
Okay.
he won.
Diana, I was, I'm like yourself, back in the day, I used to I mean, I go back to the 80s, with
Hmm.
marvelous Marvin Hearn, is that his, Hagler, not Hearn, Thomas
Hmm.
Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. I mean, those guys, I remember being a kid and it was a big thing, Mike Tyson, those guys.
Oh my God,
Uh,
yes.
we'd have a pay-per-view. If there was a pay-per-view event, like probably twice a year back then, and so it was
Hmm.
a big old thing. I'm sure you're familiar,
Yeah,
right? I mean, and it was just a
absolutely.
yeah. Someone would get the fight. Okay, where are you going to be at for the fight? Somebody would get it, and then we'd go to that. It was always a relative or somebody's friend, or it was a big deal, man. It was a big
Hmm.
deal, and I mean, yeah, Chavez and those guys, man. And being Mexican, that's it's part of our culture, man. It's part of us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How early can you go back, or I know you mentioned some of the fighters, but were you kind of in that a part of that? Like maybe your dad would get the fight,
Yeah,
and maybe you were. Go
it
ahead.
was usually my uncle Tavo. So we would go to his house. It was always him that would have the fights. But yeah, that's how I grew up watching fights. I've always loved it. And then once I got in, my son started boxing, we got invited to in June 2000, like last year, like in June or July.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Zurdo Ramirez or Zurdo was fighting a fight, and I think JoJo too. That's the
Okay.
first time I go to an actual event. That's when I met Blair. And I met Jose Benavides, Rayo. I met like multiple people. And after that event, I fell in love and I
Mm-hmm.
started not only going to fights and being a big time fan, but also training with my son along his side. So we're both training, we're going to events, and it also gave me a beautiful connection, more connected with my son.
Yeah, so yeah, there was a bond there. Now you have
Mhm,
something in
bond.
common. You know, that's beautiful. No, that's a beautiful thing, Diana.
Hmm.
When you can share those experiences and you know, um, but so and what is it for you though about boxing, Diana? That I mean, what's that one thing that you just it's that you just love about it, man. It's that one thing you can't explain it, but it just boxing just gives you that thing. What is it for? Can you tell us about that?
I don't
Can you
know.
pinpoint?
It's just like, I like to say it's like self love because I feel like boxing is such a jealous sport. It's so demanding, it's all year round, right? And it's like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour, because you got to go running, that's half an hour. And then the training is 2 hours and it goes by so fast, right? And
Right.
then just being in the ring when I spar, I'm such, you kind of know me, my you kind of read who I am. I'm very energetic. I'm always all over the place. My brain is always thinking something.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard for me to focus and stay in the moment when I spar. Oh my God, first time I stayed in the moment, like I'm there. And then getting punched, it's like it's an adrenaline rush. And then punching back, and
Didn't hurt.
I like I think my adrenaline comes in and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. No,
It's just that's the psychotic part. I think that's why I love it so much.
no doubt. No, I played football. So it's the adrenaline. It's almost like you love the contact, right? You
Yeah,
just can't explain it. You can't
it's
explain
like
it.
fear. It's like this roller coaster. Like I get my little fix. Like the night before, like I'm not gonna lie, like I get fearful. Like of just I don't know. It's just so scary. Like right now, I don't feel scared because I don't have like sparring coming up.
Uh
But the
huh.
night before, I'm like so nervous. Like I'm like scared, but I know I'm gonna do it because that's how I am. I'm gonna do it. Even in school, like oh I'm scared, but I do it. I'm not a quitter. Lo hago. So I'm like, you have no choice. You're gonna go. So then once I'm there, like I'm like freaking out, and then when I'm in the ring, in the zone and I love it. And then after, I'm happy like for 2 days because the dopamine. I love it. I just it's amazing.
Uh-huh. I get you. No, I get it. Hey, Diana, I wanted to direct your attention to the comment section. Z Boxing News. My
Hmm.
cousin Danny, he has a podcast. I'm gonna ask you to follow him because he is all about boxing. If you look at the comments, I mean, he's mentioning Dimitri Bivol and
Oh, I
Spence
haven't
versus.
been seen it. Yeah, I haven't. I didn't even know I was on private chat. Okay, Elder Diana. Oh, I love you, Elder. That's my like my little friend. He is he's he we were in the same gym together, but now I like to hang out with him and like he's like my son. Like I call him my soul son.
Uh
He's
huh.
only 20 and he's a great role model for my son. I want my son to be like him. This kid, Elder, he's an amazing boxer, so freaking talented.
Oh, okay.
2-0. Um Also, what else? He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's all about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want my son to be. So I'm like, dime con quién te juntas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you hang out with and
Mm,
I'll tell you who you are.
exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Elder. Yeah, thank you for
Yeah,
tuning
elder.
in, being here with us, Elder. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, So, but yeah, no. When you get a chance, check out Z Boxing News. Excellent boxing podcast. They know what the heck they're talking about. When it comes to boxing. Uh,
Awesome. I will.
eh, no doubt, no
You
doubt.
know me, I'm always about being supportive, you know, and if somebody asks me like to collaborate, I'm like, yes. You know, I do I'm careful though, because if people are like weird or they give me like a vibe, because I could read energy even through, believe it or not, through their their IG or the way they talk to them. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not about exposing people. I don't like none of that, but I just end up like directing, like I don't like this makes me uncomfortable, and like if it happens again I will block them, but I'm not here to say who it was because I don't like none of that. That's ugly energy, you know. But if you see me in a video or like this with you, that means that I get a good vibe of you, your energy. I love your energy, and that's the only way I will work with people.
Absolutely. No, I 100%.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
we.
picky, you know, like it me costó mucho my self-esteem. It
Mhm.
cost me a lot to be in a good place, to have boundaries, and I'm not gonna like let anybody affect it or cross me, you know? I'm just not. I'm sorry,
I can't argue with you there,
right?
Diana. I'm the same way. I only yeah. If any negative vibes, I'm not even gonna go there. So
Mm-hmm.
you and I like we connected right away at the Muzzle for Reals video shoot. Yeah, I loved your energy. You had a great interview, and it was all good, all from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see you out there, networking, Diana, I love how you're networking and how you're out there, and you're a heck of a supporter and doing your thing as well. So I appreciate you. A couple of your followers followed me already, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, I was like, oh man, that's cool, and all the way around, positive, good people. I
Mm-hmm.
could, like you said, you could read energy. You could just tell. You could tell.
Absolutely.
And I surround myself with nothing but real ones. And I'm too old to try to, I don't have time for games. I'm
Yeah.
just, you know, but you're also doing your modeling thing. Again, you appeared in the video from us for reals.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and how that's going for you, because again, it's you're doing so much, and I want to kind of get to everything that you're doing. But tell us about how you got started with that. What inspired you to get into modeling, and
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? Print? What kind of modeling are you doing? All that good stuff.
Okay, so modeling, like I've never considered myself a model. I just kind of like since I've been networking, I just been doing a lot. I think I got connected with him because of OG Rome. Shout out to OG Rome. You know OG Rome?
Yeah, I met him once. I met him once.
As my friend, he's so cool. He's
Yeah.
amazing. Go follow him, guys.
Hmm.
I met him at back in the day, the event. It's called Back in the Day. There was a lot of artists were there. OG Rome performed, and he met me there, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to be a dancer on the event? I think it was the Urban Con."
Okay. Okay.
So I'm like, again, I'm a motor. I'm like, let's do this. Great energy. I'm not a dance. I don't know how to dance. I'm not a professional dancer. Like I'm not a professional model. I'm not like in Vogue. But this is a new generation. It's about being artistic, putting yourself out there, being supportive. You
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I can't be scared of this. Like, you know what? I told him, Moji, yes, I'll do it. And you know what? I dance like if I'm not a great dancer, but like I just in my head I was like, okay, when I go to the club, you know, I'm just gonna be cute. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be Zen Queen. Like when I dance. So I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. And after that, that's when I think Masto saw me. Like I don't know if it was because I got tagged in a lot of people. I networked so much that day that he probably saw me. He
Uh-huh.
started following me, and then he asked me about the video, and then I love his. I could just read his vibe off, you know, everything. And again, como you, I'm like, yes, let's do it. So then I did that, and then now now. I have a new project. I think, I don't know if you saw the comment from the Black Bon Jovi.
Yeah, yeah. He was one of the guys that followed me. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's tag people that we talk about on here and then they'll promote it too. Like we'll have them,
Perfect.
So I'm gonna be on one of his videos. I'm so excited because his music, it's like different. He's a prince of rock and roll, pop rock, EDM, and rave music. So everybody check him out. He's amazing. Um, so yeah, that's my next video is with him. I'm gonna network with him.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw the Black Bon Jovi at an event back in when was that? Late April was the Latin American Motion Picture Awards,
Mhm.
and he was there. He has his makeup and his paint,
Mhm.
um, and then today, he we connected on via Instagram, and I was like, oh, hey,
Mhm.
it was nice to see him. I had remembered him from then.
Mhm.
So we interacted on the DM, maybe I think a couple comments, but yeah.
Mhm.
So it's okay. So you're gonna be on his video, and when is that gonna drop? Do you have a timetable right now, or
No, not yet. We just linked up recently through my manager. Ooh, guys, I have a manager, like a real authentic manager. I am so blessed.
okay,
I don't even. I'm like shook. I'm excited. I'm so grateful to the Lord.
okay?
Um,
Tell us who's your manager. Can you tell us? And
Dusty the rapper. We could put his IG once
oh,
we're done. Or
Dusty the rapper. Okay, now it's all coming together.
you
Because
know him?
no, well, we were DMing earlier,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you had mentioned that. Maybe you did. I apologize if I missed that,
Uh-huh.
Diana.
No,
But
yeah. I have
okay,
a
so he's
manager.
managing you. What's that?
Yeah. So he is well connected everywhere. If you guys go to his page, follow him, and just look at how many he's doing. So many amazing things. He is
He's got like a million followers, right?
2.2 million,
Two
and
point.
he's
Oh,
also working with a person that's running for Nevada, the governor. Look at the page. I forget his, and I think Bara. I don't know his IG, but we'll link it on the bottom so you guys could see it.
okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna be a big supporter of him too.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So
Mhm.
he's managing you in as far as in which respect?
And promoting me, helping me get introduced to like going to really amazing good events.
Okay.
And we're gonna start doing like more like photo shoots, and he was gonna promote my page, and we're gonna do all that. But we gotta sit down and talk about it to kind of seal the deal and see what we're talking. But the way he's helping me already is by getting me to the right places
Mm-hmm.
and telling people who I am,
Oh, okay,
and
perfect. And
that's
that
how he is.
no, this should you're trying to get he's trying to get you more modeling gigs, or is it
Um,
for the
well,
boxing or
I'm sorry. So what I'm doing, okay, so now we're gonna talk about my fighting. So y'all know I'm training right now. I kind of took a little break, and we'll talk about the break because I need to stay on track. I promised myself and you that I was gonna stay on track. Okay, so here we go again.
don't worry.
So
Yeah.
my goal is to get more followers so that I could have a fight, but I want to get into the gig of influencer fighters. So in
Okay.
order to be an influencer, I consider myself already. I am, but I mean, a lot of people are the numbers, right? And me, I want to get my followers organically because I know a lot of people, and no shame in that. Like if you buy followers, that do you, boo. But me, I want to do it authentically. I want people to follow me, and if it takes me longer, then so be it. But I want people
Mm-hmm.
to love the real me and be my real numbers. Like me, I'm grateful for the numbers that I have right now. And I still am an influencer because I say what I am. I say I'm a queen because that's my birthright through Jesus Christ. And if I declare that I am an influencer, that's what I am.
You go, girl. I'm not gonna argue with you there. No, you. That's. I love that. I love that. You know what? You claim it, and who's gonna tell you otherwise? You know.
and they could
Uh,
say it, but you know what? Like, I have a lot of love, more love, and I have a few people that dislike me and they think I don't know, but I know, honey, and they know that who they are. But we're not gonna go there because the negativity is. I'm not
no,
about negativity. I'm
no, I
about
feel it.
love.
No, that's what I love about you, Diana. You're straight up, you're real, and you're all about positive vibes, man. Like we
Hmm.
already kind of touched on that, and
Hmm.
that's the yeah. I mean, that's the way it should be, right? That's the
Yeah.
way it should. That's
Oh,
the. Unfortunately, not everybody's like that, but hey, you know what? We'll keep our circle tight, and that's fine.
yeah. We'll be working together as soon as I drop stuff. We'll come up and talk, dissect it, and then like promote.
Hmm.
I link yours with my people. We
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
We're gonna work together definitely. I see this as a long term thing.
We're just scratching the surface, right?
Oh yeah, today
As
that's
they
what
say.
we're doing. We'll dive in deeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. So, going back to the boxing, you your son is at a new gym or just yourself?
So what happened was that okay. So let's talk about people are really aware. My people that follow me are aware that I had a moment where I was burnt out
Mm-hmm.
because I was driving all the way to El Monte from Lake Elsinore. And
Ooh,
we were going to Monday through Friday training
and,
like maniacs.
and that's what for the people that don't know. That's about close to 2 hours.
An hour and 15 minutes to get there.
Okay, an hour and 50. Okay,
So we would
that's
drive, we would like go running in the morning, 5 a.m. I would go to work, come home, get my child, go to El Monte. That's an hour. Train for 2 hours. Come back. It's already 9. Go to bed. Do it all Monday
ooh.
through Friday.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. How
And the
long did you guys do
reason
that?
for like almost a year.
Wow.
And the only
Dedication.
reason why I went all the way over there is because I only trust Eric, his coach, which was then my coach después.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I trust him. I went to middle school with him, and then yeah, we met in middle school, and we have a great relationship. Me and his coach, and I trust him with my son. And he kind of discovered him, and you know how it is in the boxing world. It's all about respect, right?
Mm-hmm. No
And
doubt.
then so I wouldn't take him to nowhere else. But recently I had the breakdown. I was training with him too, great coach, but I just like it was too much, and I had to take care of my mental health. And then my son kind of was a little bit burnt out too, but he's a hard worker, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
But eventually, since I was trying to get myself back on my feet, trying to feel better, he wanted to do football, and he's done it before, where he's joined football, and then once that season is over, he goes back to boxing. So
Okay.
I think that's the pattern, and I don't force my child. I know people. I love boxing. Just one thing clear: I'm not those parents that force my kid. If I love something, you have to do it. Like I do not. So when he said he wants to do that, I'm like, all right, you do what you want. If you want to do that, you want to break, then go ahead. And when
Okay.
he's ready to go back, if he's ever ready, then we will go back. But me, so I'm still on my break, and I went. I'm gonna go back to with my son when we go back over there with Eric. I'm not dropping my coach, but for now, for my mental health, because I'm doing a lot for me right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to drive all the way over there. So um I've been shopping for a gym nearby, and I asked a couple of my friends, and they recommended some, but I don't know yet where I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna start next week. I have some that I have in mind.
Okay.
There's one House of Pain. I don't know if you know that one in Temecula.
That sounds familiar. It's in IE. So are you gonna try to stay closer to home
Yes,
this
because of
time
my mental
around?
health. It's nothing against my coach. Like I love my coach. I
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
mad respect, but I just need something close. I don't need triggers. Right now, especially if
Yeah.
if I want to be a support system to other, I gotta be okay mentally too, right? Because I'm a school psych. I have to be there for others. And then I'm working on a project where I want to introduce my psychology skills into the
Uh-huh.
boxing world. But that's a project that it's brewing, and I don't want to, like, I can't really talk about it. But that's another thing I'm gonna do.
Go ahead. You can tell us a little bit. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, I can't because
I know. I'm
not
teasing you. I'm
sure, like,
teasing. Yeah, yeah. No, speaking of the school psychology, you're a school psychologist. You went to
mhm,
Laverne. You got your master's in school psychology there.
mhm,
You got your bachelor's at UC Irvine. So
mhm.
you're well educated. So let's take it back a little bit. What kind of inspired you uh, to go to school? Because I know you had some in your 20s you went through some adversity, you went through some things in life, and then I think you mentioned you were just kind of going through life without any direction in your 20s. So talk about how you made a shift, you gathered yourself, you got on track, and then you went to UCI and UC Irvine for those who
Mhm.
were just to clarify that. Talk about that experience and going into college and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, so I was going nowhere fast in my
Mm-hmm.
20s. And it was all like emotional stuff. I had like, I guess, abandonment issues or whatnot. And then, we'll talk about how that, in a psychology lens when we come back, and we can talk about that when I'm ready about why I have that. This
Mm-hmm.
just childhood stuff. And
No doubt.
it's just like wasting myself, my time, and my love, like love me. And it's like, that's ridiculous. So when I had my son, I just fell into this mode of I need to take care of this little person. And he motivated me. And then I also have body dysmorphia, so it's kind of like an eating disorder, right?
What's it called? I'm sorry.
Body dysmorphia, it's an eating disorder where you think you're like fat and like you see the mirror and
Oh,
it's just horrible. It's a disgusting thing. But you know what? That
I don't.
makes me, I have to overcome that. So that made me a better person, I think, having all these weird things going on up here.
Wow, Diana, I don't think I'm fat. I know I'm fat, so I don't have to deal with that. So, anyways, I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
So no, so you did you go to community college too, Diana?
Absolutely. So that's another thing that I want to talk about to inspire others. Don't be ashamed if you have to go through. A lot of
I did
people
too.
think like the pressure. Oh, I have to go to 4 year. Mijo, mija, don't even worry. You know what? Like I went to community college and I still got like the great job. Like don't even worry of none of that. Don't
And where
stress
did you
yourself
go?
out. I went to Chafee. First, I went to Cerritos before I had my kid. Oh my
Okay.
god, that was horrible. I dropped out. I dropped out a lot of times, guys. I did. So that's I want to talk about my failures because
Well,
I didn't become this professional amazing boxer out of nowhere. No, because I want to inspire others. I was in the mud, and we'll talk about that. I
yeah.
eventually,
Mm-hmm.
man, I
Mm-hmm.
was horrible emotionally. People would break my boundaries. I had no boundaries. It just people treat me bad because I didn't treat myself good. I
Mm,
put myself
yeah.
in that situation. I put myself in a lot of disgusting situations. But heck no, I'm never gonna do that ever again.
You live and learn, right?
So I flunked out, and then I went back, and then I stopped. I went to East LA College,
Okay.
and then
That's
again I effed up again. So I
my
was like,
son's there
okay,
now.
so you know what? I'm not gonna go to school because I'm gonna mess up my GPS. So I ended up dropping, and I had a GPA like okay. I just would drop. I was smart enough to drop,
Uh
and
huh. Uh huh.
then I was going through a lot. I did a lot of destructive stuff, which I'm glad I did it because now that makes me a better psychologist. Like I understand people,
Right.
right? It's like I'm book smart and I'm street smart. Yo, like come on.
That's a lethal combination, right? That's
Yeah, that's why I think I'm good with people because I could read them. I could go like bullshitting me,
Absolutely. 100.
So it's
100.
like,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of weird.
I love
But
that.
anyway,
Oh, it's to your
so
advantage. It's to your advantage.
yeah, I use it for good
Hmm.
because I
Yeah.
can use it for evil too. But I'm not that. It's not my heart is not there. No, for real. Like I'm. That's not who I am.
I feel you. I
Anyway,
feel you.
so
So you left
I,
ELAC, or right?
ELAC. Okay, so it's Cerritos, ELAC, and then I dropped out completely. I did my thing. I met my baby's father. I was like, I need to start new. So I went to Ensenada for like a little bit to kind of find myself. But I found that, I took my problems with me. I was the problem.
Mm,
It wasn't the environment, it's me,
I
right?
feel. Yeah. Okay.
So then I met my baby's father, my baby's dad. I got pregnant, and he's rest in peace. He passed away this year. It was very devastating thing,
Oh
a big
man.
blow. But I mean, I'm not gonna talk bad about him because he's in heaven. But he wasn't like the best choice. He had emotional problems, and he
Mm,
suffered from addiction. And I know it's a disease. And I never badmouthed him to my kid. I told him, "Your papi está enfermo and he's sick, and only God
oh,
can help him." You know. And
yeah.
that's the type of person I am. I look at things as they are. Not. I don't blame people for their thing. A lot of people, it's ignorance. That's why they act a certain way.
Yeah. No doubt.
But just
Wow.
'cause they're ignorant, I don't need to be a part of them either, tampoco, so I know or I could read and I'm understanding, I give them the benefit of that, but it's like, it's not for me. Get better.
Yeah, I
But
get it.
so I made that choice, and it's kind of like you meet where you're at. It's like it's an energy, a channel. So I'm in that environment. Who am I gonna match with?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I can't talk smack about him. Why did I match with him? I was probably in the same environment. Like now I match with amazing, extraordinary people because that's who I am now and that's where I'm at.
Exactly.
And at the time, I'm not gonna talk smack about him. Like, why am I attracting him to hello, a mirror? Like I'm in that environment.
Right. That's a good point. Good point. Yeah. I
Let's
mean.
keep it real. Like I'm
Yep.
not here to bullshit the followers and say like I'm great, I'm always great. No, I'm a human.
Hmm.
I'm still do a lot of like mistakes, and I have my triggers and have my things that I need to look at myself. My ego sometimes gets on the way, and I have to check myself.
I feel. We're all the same. We're all different, but yet the same. Right
Yeah.
then. I mean.
Did we get
Um.
sidetracked? What were we talking about?
Well, you you
School,
were you were at
school,
ELAC,
school.
and then I think you said, I think, so you ended up at Chafee.
Yeah, so let me tell you now, school.
That's
So then
crazy. I went to Chafee too.
I got pregnant, and then after I had my baby.
Uh
I
huh.
love him so much. He's so cute. He was this cute pedacito hermoso, and I just felt like I need to protect him, and I fell in love with him.
Oh.
And he was 3 months old. I went back to school. My mom, my God, shout out to my mom, Rosa
Hmm.
Melgoza. We're gonna put her IG on here. She helped me. I'm a single mom, but I've never felt like a single mom. As Hispanics, we're a very knit, tight community.
Yeah.
We're more of collective environment. So we live with my family. We support each other. I support them in the ways that I can, and they 100% support me. I love my family. They're always there for me and my child. So ella me lo cuidaba. She's always been, a big support in every single way with my kid.
That's awesome.
And she babysat him so I could go to school. Because I was
Hmm.
always another thing during my undergrad at Chaffey College. I was still working part time and going to school full time. And then yes, I went to Chaffey and then
Okay.
I started good. Yeah, like yeah, no more dropping out. I Chaffey for like 3 years. UC Irvine 3 years. My master's 3 years. My doctorate I'm in 2 years. I need one more year. Well,
Oh,
not
you're.
one more year. No, not more 1 year. I need 16 weeks for my classes and my dissertation. I have up from now till January to write it, and then I'm gonna register in January to finish my classes
And where are you taking your doctorate at?
at Alliant National University.
Okay.
It's in San Diego, so it's not far from here for me.
Yeah, I heard of
One,
Alliant.
it's one of the accredited best ones for school psychology, so
Wow,
it's
congrats.
ranked really high for that.
Yeah, I keep telling you, I don't know how you do it. I have a cousin right now. He's going to USC for his doctorate, and
Hmm.
I'm like, man, I don't know how you guys do it, man. I my hats off to you,
Hmm.
because I know how it is. You're working a full time job.
Yeah,
You have a family, you have kids, you're doing, so much. But no, that's just another way, another reason you're so inspirational because you're
well,
doing that. You're
I'm
going
glad.
through
I
that.
just want people to wake up and understand that they are amazing. Like I said, it's their birthright. They're kings and queens. A lot of people think like, oh, I have to be extraordinary now to be a king. No, you are now.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
doesn't matter. Look at me. I was in the mud, like in my 20s, like legit. And when we talk about it, everybody's going to be like, no way. Yes,
Wow.
it
Yeah,
was
no,
really horrible what I was going through. And I put myself in those situations,
no doubt.
and like, look at me, what I just had to do it. I'm like, no, once I had my child, he changed my mindset. Just how
Exactly.
one person could do that for you, it's incredible.
Isn't it? Isn't it amazing uh to see um gosh, I'm sorry, Dan. Isn't it amazing to see that transformation like within yourself?
Yeah,
And you know, it's just like you see the transformation. You look back at your life 2 3 years ago, and the person you once were, and then fast forward to this moment, and like it's just like mind boggling, right? To see how far you've
absolutely.
come.
And
You
that's
know.
what I want people to understand, because I want them to see me and be like, I could do that. Not like, oh, I wish. Like, no, you don't have to wish. Like, you can be all anything you want. Like me, like, oh, I'm older, like boxing. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna do it. I don't
Exactly.
care what happens. Like, I'm gonna box. Like, if people say you're not, yes, I am a boxer. I declare it. I'm an influencer. I'm a boxer. I'm a queen. I'm a
Yeah.
psychologist.
Exactly.
I decide what I am.
Hmm. That's it. We take ownership.
Like, yeah. Uh,
Diana,
hmm.
I wanna thank you so much for coming on.
Hmm.
Um, I before we go
Hmm.
though, okay, tell us where we can find you. Tell us where we can follow you. All that good stuff.
Okay, you guys could follow me. I think that because they see my name right there, Zen underscore Queen underscore Boxer. You're cutting off. Oh.
Hey Diana, I'm so sorry. I cut it early right now because I didn't have my stupid battery charger for my phone, my computer. Oh man, I'm so sorry. If you notice, I suddenly just told, kind of you and all that good stuff.
is because, oh gosh, I was trying to. I thought I had enough battery. So it should. The episode should be there. Let me check the episode. Let me check the StreamYard, and I should be able. I should be able to post it up right now. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry.